Welcome to Furniture Industry News for Wednesday, June 25th, 2025. I'm here to bring you the latest updates that matter to furniture professionals across the industry. Today, we're covering everything from consumer confidence and housing trends to new regulations and shipping developments that could impact your business in the coming months. Let's start with the big picture, how consumers are feeling about the economy right now. After jumping up in May, consumer confidence took a sharp turn downward in June. The Consumer Confidence Index dropped 5.4 points to 93.0, erasing almost half of the gains we saw last month. What's particularly concerning is that the Expectations Index fell to 69.0, well below the 80 threshold that typically signals a recession is approaching. Consumers are specifically worried about tariffs and their impact on prices, along with ongoing inflation concerns. This sentiment directly affects furniture purchasing decisions, since home furnishings are often discretionary purchases that consumers delay when they're feeling uncertain about the economy. The decline was broad-based across all age groups and income levels, which tells us this isn't just affecting one segment of the market. This consumer uncertainty is already showing up in retail performance. Kohl's just reported some troubling numbers for their home business. For the fourth year running, their home sales declined year over year, dropping 5.6% in the first quarter. What's particularly striking is that compared to their pre-pandemic performance in 2019, they've lost over $200 million in quarterly home sales volume. That's a significant chunk of business that's disappeared from the marketplace. The silver lining for Kohl's is that they're seeing some improvement in bedding, bath, and kitchen categories since launching two new house brands in March. They're refocusing on their core customers and emphasizing opening price point products, which suggests they're responding to price-sensitive shoppers in today's economy. Despite the consumer confidence concerns, the housing market is actually giving us some cautiously optimistic news. Existing home sales posted their smallest year-over-year decline since February, dropping just 0.7% compared to May 2024. That might not sound like celebration material, but when you consider we've been seeing much steeper declines in recent months, this is actually progress. Sales also ticked up 0.8% from April, which shows some momentum during what's typically the busy spring selling season. What's particularly interesting is that home prices hit a record high for May at $422,800, marking the 23rd consecutive month of year-over-year price increases. At the same time, inventory jumped over 20% compared to last year, giving buyers more options. This combination of rising prices and increasing inventory creates an interesting dynamic for our industry. More inventory typically means more opportunities for furniture sales as people move into new homes, but those high prices might be keeping some buyers on the sidelines. The National Association of Realtors is pointing to high mortgage rates as the main culprit keeping sales relatively subdued. With 30-year fixed rates sitting around 6.81%, many potential buyers are still waiting for better financing conditions. The good news is that if rates do come down in the second half of this year, we could see a significant pickup in home sales activity, which would be great news for furniture retailers and manufacturers. Now let's shift to logistics, where we're seeing some relief after weeks of increasing costs. After 6 consecutive weeks of increases, global container rates finally dropped 7% this week. The decline is mainly due to softening demand for U.S.-bound cargo, with rates from Shanghai to Los Angeles falling 20%. However, before you get too excited about lower shipping costs, remember that these rates are still significantly higher than they were 6 weeks ago, up 73% for Los Angeles and 81% for New York since early May. Industry experts expect the shipping market to soften in the second half of 2025, but future volatility will depend on ongoing legal challenges to U.S. tariffs and potential changes to Chinese vessel capacity. One shipping executive emphasized the importance of building strong partnerships with logistics providers rather than simply chasing the lowest rates. In volatile times like these, reliability and service quality can be more valuable than saving a few dollars per container. He noted that companies making procurement decisions based solely on annual bidding processes and lowest rates often find themselves deprioritized when capacity gets tight. Speaking of regulatory challenges, there's a significant shift happening that every furniture company needs to understand. Extended Producer Responsibility Laws, or EPR laws, are being implemented in several states, and they're going to change how companies handle packaging waste. 5 states have already enacted these laws: California, Colorado, Maine, Minnesota, and Oregon, with several more states considering similar legislation. Here's what this means in practical terms. If you're a brand owner, importer, retailer with private label products, or distributor, You'll likely need to register with a producer responsibility organization in each affected state and pay into a fund that helps finance community recycling programs. The focus is on packaging materials like cardboard boxes, shrink wrap, and foam used to protect products during shipping. The goal is to shift the financial responsibility for recycling these materials away from taxpayers and onto the companies that create the packaging waste. The American Home Furnishings Alliance is working on compliance guidance, but they're also noting that some registration deadlines have already passed or are coming up quickly. Minnesota's deadline is July 1st, and Washington's is March 1st, 2026. If you're doing business in any of these states, you'll want to review your packaging materials and determine your compliance obligations soon. Non-compliance could result in fines, so this isn't something to put off. Finally, let's look at how technology is changing the retail landscape. Wayfair just launched 2 new AI-powered features in their mobile app that are worth paying attention to. Their new Discover tab uses AI-generated imagery to create personalized, shoppable galleries tailored to individual customer styles. They've also added an image search feature that lets customers snap photos or upload images to find visually similar products. These technological advances represent the direction retail is heading: more personalized, more visual, and more intuitive shopping experiences. For furniture manufacturers and retailers, this highlights the importance of having high-quality product imagery and robust digital catalogs. As AI becomes more sophisticated at matching customer preferences with products, companies that invest in their digital presence will have significant advantages. The goal of these innovations is to engage consumers earlier in their shopping journey and help them discover products they might not have found through traditional browsing. For our industry, this could mean new opportunities to reach customers who are in the inspiration phase of their purchasing process, before they've narrowed down to specific brands or retailers. That wraps up today's industry update. We're seeing a complex mix of signals, challenging consumer sentiment balanced against some encouraging housing data, shipping cost volatility, new regulatory requirements, and advancing technology. The key for furniture professionals is staying informed and adapting to these changing conditions. Don't forget to subscribe to Furniture Industry News to stay up to date with all the latest developments affecting our industry. Until next time, keep building great furniture businesses.